Hey everyone, how you doing? Just one second. Hopefully it sounds a little better now. Alrighty. SEO this week. Welcome everyone to episode 208. Thank you very much for joining. Today, and probably well into the future, I'm just going to do some quick flash episodes. So I don't want to waste your time and, kind of a busy guy. So with that, this week, we're going to talk about is the combination of all these content optimization tools that people are using and Schema. And the reason why we want to do this is there's been a whole lot of talk about new courses coming out, etc., and advanced Schema and all that stuff. And then there's been a lot of talk about these content optimization tools. As you know, there's Surfer, Market Muse, ClearScope was the first one that I know of. Cognitive SEO, Phrase, and I'm sure there's a bunch more that I'm not even mentioning. But what I want to do is give you a position or put you in a position where you can actually leverage the tools and your schema together, so it's actually worthwhile. And in order to do that, I'm actually going to show you just two tools that you can use to kind of pull this off. You can get a lot more quote unquote scary about it if you want to, but this is the easiest way that I know of to facilitate writing manual schema. Essentially, writing good schema once and then using templates is essentially what manual schema is, and implement or leverage the ideas and concepts that you're getting and then you're using from your content editing tools from all these softwares. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions while you're watching live, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And then if you're watching in recordings or you're listening to the podcast, just jump into the Digitaleer.com. Find the episode. You can ask your questions in the comments and stuff, and I'll be more than happy to get into this even deeper with you all. I'm probably going to teach this as part of a course I've given away the YouTube on the channel here, my content optimization techniques, and they're pretty much the same. But I didn't go into a lot of the whys and what you can do with them, right? So I may do that later on in a course or as part of SIA membership, and we'll see how that goes. But I've never actually talked about combining these two things and pulling out information. So with that, let me jump to the screen. I'm going to hide this. And I'll show this off. This is just a general, I just picked a random keyword, Google Analytics plugin, and I'm using Phrase for this. You can use whatever the hell you want to use. I'm just using Phrase just to get this kind of filled out and going. So we got a Google Analytics plugin. We got a couple sentences in here. Let me pick just a couple more. I want to just kind of drop this in here. It's not really going to change anything. For the most part, I'm just using this for the tools. Okay. So we have our content, and then what we're trying to do here in this case at this point is increase the score, right? So in Phrase, I like to get 90 to 100, and it's a lot of adding these keywords, etc. The idea behind this is these keywords are entities. And actually, let's kind of show you this. Remove some of this stuff here. All right, so these are, in short, what we're doing is we're trying to grab the entities from our content here, and we want to pull in text razor and the entity list. You can even get, it'll even a little bit more narrow into it and try do categories and stuff. So you see the categories and you see the topics, and the topics are the entities. Purpose placed things, they have names, etc. And when you're optimizing your content, where you're using phrase, you're using surfer, you're using market muse or whatever, the good ones are actually leveraging either TextRaiser NLP API, which is leveraging the Google NLP API, or like ClearScope, which is significantly higher because not only are you leveraging Google NLP API, you're actually you're leveraging the IBM Watson NLP API at the same time. So that's why you got the higher cost of ClearScope and then the rest of them, because ClearScope's using it. I don't want to say it's a level up technology, but in regards to the application of natural language processing, the IBM Watson thing is just more expensive because it's more robust than I believe that what Google has at the time. I'm not as sure right now the differences of the cost or anything, but I'm not really concerned about what IBM Watson thinks in regards to NLP API. That's why I have no problem using Phrase or Surfer. Page Optimizer Pro, I think, relies on it. I know Cora relies on it, is the Google NLP API, because I want to rank in the Google search engine. So I want to know what the Google's NLP API thinks about my content and the terms and etc. that are used in other like content. In this case, I believe it's the top 10 that they're analyzing. Some do 20, most do 10. Anyway, so now I have this list, and I'm just going through, for example, and I want to fill this stuff out, and I want to add things into it, and I'm just going to do it willy-nilly. I'm not even going to worry about affiliate links. Let's go active installs, advanced features, outbound links, real-time stats. Okay, so I took it in and I optimized it, and I'm getting the course up. Blah blah blah. I'm getting the score up to 100% by adding keywords to it. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. The only software like this that gets it a little bit complicated would be if we used InLinks. InLinks, their AI, it'll look at these words and your score will go up, but it's also looking at, and I'm not necessarily sure how it does it, but it looks at the context around the words a little bit too, and it makes it a little bit harder to game the score to get it up there. But the concept is still the same. You're going to find, for this term, for the lack of better, we're just going to be topics. Let's see, topic cluster is not really going after. Well, I can click on that, and you can see, in this case, like we want to, if we're in InLinks, for example, we want to do a page on reports. We wanted to narrow and hit that topic of report, I would actually add report, overview report, blah, 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 blah. And then InLinks would give me credit for having that topic cluster inside of my page. So hopefully that makes sense. So Google Ads, Google AMP, it's all these entities. So now I have this, this piece of content. I have this list of topics. I can use topic clusters if I want. I'm just going to stay with the topics and think about the top 10 is really at the end of the day what I'm looking for. Now I want to write my schema. Where do I put all this stuff? It's about and mentions. That's where it goes into, right? So how we're doing that is getting the about and mentions from topicalrelevance.com. There's actually a feature inside of what the hell is it called? Oh, Jesus, in links, and it will give you this too, but it's not as wide. It's really, really narrow, and it's kind of limited in the amount of stuff that you get. But you'll get this this part here after it's done running. I'll show you specifically. You'll get this entities part. You'll get the schema part, and it'll all be done for you. So entities, WordPress, plugin, dashboard. Based off of this, right? And then you'll see all of these things here in the About and Mentions. This ties into what you're doing inside of your content. So affiliate links. I don't know if you noticed that. It jumped out really quick because I just typed it. So there's affiliate links. And then About, there's the affiliate links. Let's see, Bing, Google. I bet you those are mentioned. Google's there. I don't see Bing offhand in a quick scan, but it could be there. I could put it in there. Mobile app, probably not. But it's related to the content in regards to what I'm doing, right? So let's say I got this up to 100%. I got all these in there, and topical relevance said, oh, look, all those tools missed these things. So for sake of argument, cloud hosted's not there, PDF's not there, etc. I have a couple of options. One, I leave it in the schema and it goes into the HTML. Googlebot see it and says, oh, you're talking about this and this is associated. Or two, I remove it. In this case, PDF, I would probably remove. Cloud hosting, I wouldn't. Analytics service, Bing, mobile app, page speed, SEO, WordPress. That's weird. That's a misspelling. Maybe I get some traffic from WordPress. I doubt it. But you never know. Jetpack, I could leave that in there. It'd be fine. File, it's too generic. I would actually remove that. Solution, too generic. I would remove that. Pricing would be fine, I guess. Users is really generic. Well, but I'm going to be talking about page speed optimization, and right? So, or Google Analytics, and I want to track users. So that might be something that stays in there. Stats for sure, even though it's really general. So these words that are pulled out using whatever technology Joe's got behind here, and are combined with our NLP stuff here in our topics to optimize the content to get the score. So that's what all these tools are doing. But we as SEOs, and I see it pretty freaking regularly, right? Because people don't want to handwrite schema. They forget this whole part right here. The importance of all of this stuff is if I have Google Analytics and then I have the Google Analytics listed here inside of my schema, then I am not only associating it with this with the affiliate marketing page in Wikipedia, but I am also associating it with the machine readable ID number from Google. Think of yourself as a robot. If you don't know about a topic, you don't know anything about affiliate links, or you don't know anything about how to fix an engine, and you don't know what a starter cap is, and points, and a distributor, and spark plugs, and spark plug cables, and putting it into the head, and getting the valve train going, and all that stuff. You don't know anything about building an engine. If I told you or listed out the parts and said, hey, machine, here's the Wikipedia page and here's the machine readable ID for that topic, you would be able to go, oh, that's what that page is about. Now, because your schema is in your head, in the header, before the bot ever gets to the actual content, it's reading the head. And before it gets to the content, it knows essentially what your page is about. And that's the purpose of adding and mirroring and you don't have to be right on. Like you saw the list. I'm not going to go through here. See, there's WooCommerce, Google Analytics, Button Console, etc. Those are not necessarily in here. I'm sure if I look close enough, they would be in here, but they don't have to match 100% exact. But if you optimize your content with the entities, and then you optimize your schema with the entities, you're going to do so much better. At telling Google, or telling the Google bot or the machine learning algorithm or the artificial intelligence, whatever they're running, you're using those Google systems to say, hey, machine, here's Google systems to help you identify what my page is about. The machine says, oh, this is what this page is about before it even reads your content. Then it goes into your content and then finds all those entities and everything that is supposed to be inside of there at the same time. Ergo, you rank a lot easier with less backlinks. That's how you use the content editor tools and your schema together to increase your rankings. I don't want to push that button. Close the, there you go. All right, so think about that when you're writing your schema. Think about that when you're buying advanced schema courses. There's way more to it than rich snippets. There's way more to it than associating your business with your Google map. And there's way more to it than simply just ranking. Obviously, as an SEO, we want to rank, right? But I can rank one page using this system, or I can rank all my pages using this system. And ultimately, I have to get less and less specific because I've already shown the Google algorithm, hey, this is what this site is about. This is what we talk about. This is the results, or how optimized we are. And I'm making it and I'm feeding it and I'm doing it a little bit faster every time, because at the end of the day, all I got to do is optimize some content, bust open the template and change a few lines and publish everything consistently. And it makes it so much easier than worrying about which plugin's going to work and who's going to crash and are they going to do updates? Are they going to stay in line with schema? Are they going to stay in line with what Google says schema is? All of these weird things when you can just write out one simple template and punch it and go and leverage entities. You're paying for these tools anyway. Just get some extra money out of them. That's what I say. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that cleared it up. I know you guys don't get to see often, especially on the channel, me writing out schema and all that. And frankly, it's boring teaching how to write schema and how to research all this stuff to an audience. It's boring. I made a whole course on advanced schema, and it's boring to do all this unless you're really excited about it. And that's why I only make templates every once in a while, because it's boring. But I can make those templates now a whole lot faster using Rankier. That tool is up and running. We got the drop and drag features going really good. Pretty soon I'll do some videos on that once it's in all of them. And then the next step after the drop and drag is to get the templates kicked in. So that essentially that'll be game maker for you guys, right? Because you can actually legit write advanced schema, not just connect things with ad ID and say you're writing advanced schema. You can legit write advanced schema, create your templates, save it, and then every time you go and update it, all you got to do is say go update the about section or the mentions section or maybe some keyword sections and change some URLs and stuff. And you can do it all inside of the tool and just save it as a new one. So if and you create your own template library for schemas, and then you don't have to worry about copying from your competitors anymore, because you are setting the standard. You also don't have to worry about saving stuff because it's there in the tool, and then on top of that you get a bit of help because you don't have to worry about the commas and squiggly lines and closing and opening brackets and all that crap that just kind of gives a person just starting out a JSON-LD schema fits. So hopefully all that information helps. Make sure you're using and leveraging your tools, connecting phrase, connecting surfer, cognitive SEO, whatever one you're using, to your schema and the application thereof to meet the requirements of what you're doing to feed the bot. You can't talk about machine learning and then ignore schema and doing it the right way. If you do, you're just kind of a hypocrite. Because you're just hoping that the machine is doing it right when you actually feed it and teach it doing schema with the associations, etc. All right. Any questions? Bitches, scraps, complaints? If not, I'm calling it a day. 20-minute show. Fast, easy. You get something out of it. And I feel good about myself. This is important. And while we're waiting for questions, I'll give it a couple seconds because I know there's a delay. While we're waiting for questions, there has been some reports on the SEO news blogs, and Ted Kubitis has pointed it out. A bunch of people are constantly complaining recently about a new update. And the fact of the matter is the algorithm's been kind of up and down for quite some time. Ted graphed it out, and you can actually see it in the SEO weather thingies that the algorithm is jumping up and down and things are changing, etc. Here's what I say. Don't worry about it. Do the SEO, do it right, and let Google sort out its madness. Stay patient with it. But don't stress it. If you're posting in Facebook every 3 to 4 hours about is there an update or is there indexing problems or my rankings are bouncing, then just stop. Optimize your content. Submit it to Google. Wait 3 weeks. See where it's going to land. Start building backlinks. Once you build the links, wait 2 or 3 weeks for those to kick in. Sit where it's going to land. Rinse and repeat page per page. Do not sit there and worry about constant updates. Google's going to change. They're going to modify. They're going to grow. The algorithm's going to do things. The new machine learning applications are going to do things. They just released another model into the wild. It's kind of like an upgraded BERT kind of thing, and they got 2 more in the back end coming right behind that. Things are going to change. Stop worrying about algorithm updates. I mean, at this point, please stop worrying about algorithm updates. If you're watching this show, I never want to hear you again say, is there an algorithm update? Yes, there's always one. When you hit the search button, it's updating the algorithm. Just think of it that way, and your life will be easier. All right. Questions. This was great. Now I need to go do more. Yeah. Christopher was scared to ask you about the update. I know you say it's best to just hang out. Don't even mess with the update. Forget about the update. Who cares? They're updating. Who cares? Unless you totally tank on every one of your projects. Typically, all of us, we're creatures of habit. We do the same things. You're not really going to see a significant thing. I got 2 sites that kind of blah, 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 and the rest of everything is going up, or it's just minor where you can kind of chalk it up to proximity, etc. That's kind of the standard of what you guys should be looking at. If it's just doing this, slight ups and downs and things are going up and things are going down and it's not significant, like number 3 and now number 90 or now I'm de-indexed, don't even worry about it. You don't have an algorithm update. You're dealing with proximity. You're dealing with the rank tracking variances. You're dealing with all of those little things. You're just fine. Work on getting yourself position number 1, or if you're in the top 3, work on increasing your CTR so you don't even have to worry about number 1. If the page de-indexes or something like that, resubmit it to the index and say, all right, I'm going to resubmit it to the index. It'll go back in there when it goes back in there. If you have all of your sites just disappear, you might have a problem. Then you can worry about the algorithm update. But otherwise, just don't stress it. Stay the course, do your job, and you'll be fine. Did you check any Google I/O, Mum, Chrome Sandbox? Chrome Sandbox, I didn't read anything about. Mum, I did. It's pretty interesting. They're trying to make it better. Have you gone through your courses in IMG? Any favorites? Mine, using Quora. That was all right. And then Ted Kabaitis' his is okay. If you're and if you just kind of want some mind-numbing stuff, I would say go through that. For the most part, I think that's pretty much those are the only two that I've actively been through. Well, only one. I actually did my course. I made it, so I know it's in there. But other than that, there's nothing really anything that jumps out to me that's exciting. They're all great people. They're all making courses. They're all doing hard things. You respect it and you have to watch the game go. If you need courses, then go for it. But I've pretty much taken the route that I rarely buy courses now. I have IMG courses because I submitted a course and I'm an active tester in there, so I get access to those, right? But I don't really watch them. The last one I bought was a Schema course, $4.97 to learn how to connect my schema types with ad ID. Totally fucking a waste of money, unless you are a brand new SEO who doesn't know that blueprints and templates are the same thing, that nodes and schema types are the same thing. But for the most part, I haven't gone through any of those. I haven't listened to any of those, so I can't suggest or tell you to stay away from any of them. Anything else? Are we good? All right, sweet. Okay, quick show, down and dirty. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching this week. I'm probably going to be doing some more videos outside of the SEO this week brand. And if I do decide to do that, like I'm doing more over at the SIA channel, etc. But if I do some more, they'll still be on the Digitaleer channel. So if you're subscribed and stuff, you'll get notifications about those. I probably won't do them live unless it's like a really cool topic. Well, they'll all be really cool topics. So why do a video if they're not, right? But unless it's like a topic that just kind of, would play better to live, then it'll probably all be recorded. So you don't have to worry about that. You won't miss any. You'll get the notifications and you'll get to see them there. For the most part, I think we're doing good. The SEO this week, the phone thing, it's there. It's connected. It's working. We'll see about getting that going. But right now, with the view counts as low as they are on the live, I think I'm pretty much just wasting my time and my money doing that madness. So, but we'll see how it works out, and maybe transition over to just a podcast. But at the end of the day, SEO doesn't translate very well to just pure audio, right? So we'll see. I'm still betting it. I'm still playing it around. I still enjoy doing the show. I still enjoy talking to you guys live. And if that's all that we do is just kind of hang out, that'd be cool too. Maybe we'll do Zoom or something. You guys can hang out with me. We'll see. Always be changing. Always be moving around. Always being flexible. Always be ready to adapt what your audience needs, right? And that's what marketing is all about. And SEO is marketing. And we're going to be adaptable to what Google needs. And their updates can kiss our butts because we're doing the right things. We're moving the needle, and that needle is going up. That's all we're happy about. Appreciate all of you. Thank you, Christopher, and have a great week. Bye.